Hello, America. This is Eddie Marcus again, and this is New Year's Eve. You know, I was lying in the bed. I was been sick for several days. You haven't received any posts from me, and I feel like I might not wake up tomorrow. So the information that I got to me is important. So I'd like to share it with you. Uh, I was really kind of down. I was sent to the emergency room for a CAT scan or MRI, but it was too crowded. I couldn't get into the hospital, and I haven't gotten in yet. So I hope that my information might be noteworthy. This is a positive message. It might start off seemingly negative, but it's not. You see, what it's saying to you, the American people, is that the end of America seems to be near. We think about the virus, the coronavirus that's devastating to so many lives of the people. We think about the natural disasters that's happening not just all over the world, but mostly all over America, seemingly in so many states, and they're devastating to the point that very few people can survive them. So there's a lot of destruction that's taking place with the hurricanes, with the earthquakes and other floods and tsunamis. And my friends, the volcanoes are going on, and the people of the nation, in spite of all the things that's happening, a great number of the people of this nation are talking about civil war. And they are not just talking about it, they are trying to establish some rules and regulations to change the way things are in relationship to carrying guns. They want to make sure that people can carry guns. And why would they want people to carry guns? Because they're talking about civil war. They're talking about the history, their history of killing. And this, my friend, seems to be the plan that they have to maintain themselves superior to everybody else on earth by killing everybody else. Now, you see what is happening here, that the people, as far as I can see it, are conquering and destroying what God has allowed. And in so doing, it happens because it is in reality what the people actually deserve. Now, I'm sure you agree with me on that. When I talk to you, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear me clearly. I don't want to speak vaguely and have you wondering. I want to speak to the facts as I see them. You see, the devil, and I'm talking about the devil now, has visited America many times. And its purpose has been to prep America for her conquer. Now, the devil came back in 2016 and he identified himself. This is why I say it was the devil. He identified himself about what evil he'd be able to do. And that is that he could walk out down certain street, kill people, and his minions would approve it and says, okay, they wouldn't do anything about it. Well, yet, when this man got into office, this devil, the one that can kill people and get away with it, he walked over the Constitution every time he wanted to. And in fact, the American people in Congress impeached him twice. And his minions, those that served the devil well, would not punish him. Now, this is pathetic. The devil is doing all of these things to not the nation itself, but to the people. They have been so infected, so filled with confusion, that this man established a plan to steal, as devils do, cheat, lie, steal, to steal the election from the people. A nation chooses, according to the system, who they want to serve. And this devil knew exactly what to do. Not only can he walk the street and kill people and get away with it, but he can come and mention a lie at the right proper time. Get his minions to hold up that lie. And that lie will become alive. But it didn't become alive in 2020. He wasn't able to steal it. But he set something in motion that would make it so simple for that theft to take place the next time around. You see, evil, I'm going to say it again, evil, the devil, as you want to call it, has a system of exploitation. Yes, a system of exploitation. You see, God, I'm talking about God now, gives freely to all. The devil has nothing to give. So the devil says, I'll take it. And you can have it if you can pay. Now, God prepared food, clothing, and shelter for every human being on earth. But the devil says, only if you can pay. God prepared that education could be available to everybody on earth, not just America, but everybody on earth. But the devil, the same one who said kill anybody, the one who walked over the Constitution, and his minions allowed him to go, says, if you can pay. Healthcare. You know what's happening in the world, ladies and gentlemen. All this knowledge that has been given to us through the people that have been chosen to do so, to save the people from that stuff that's tearing them apart and killing them. And what happens? The devil says, only if you can pay. Isn't that something, ladies and gentlemen? If you can pay, you can have housing. If you can pay, you can have food. If you can pay, you can have education. If you can pay, you can have health care. If you can pay, you can have anything that's available here in the United States. If you can pay, but if you cannot pay, you can go to the ditch and jump in it and kill yourself because nobody cares. What I mean by nobody cares, yeah, there are people who are genuinely good people. They will set up charities to try to support you, but they do not know why they're supporting you. They are supporting the evils of the devil at the same time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in a situation like this, the people of goodwill, the people who were complacent, the people who were robbed, who were cheated, who were lied to, and who are now poor because of the exploitation that they've endured. To survive, what do they have to do? They have to lie. They have to cheat. They steal. They kill. They murder. What do? They grab your cars down the street. They hit you side the head, take your money. They do all of these things because they have been robbed by a bigger system that people have been trained to say, well, it's all right. We can't beat it. All over the earth. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. January 6th, the rally before the riot, and the entire congregation was numerically great. If I could have seen or played any role in a crowd that would assemble themselves, they could congregate themselves together in massive numbers like that, if I could have had a part in it or just saw it, and it represented peace, it represented prosperity, it represented life for all. Boy, at that time, you could have just melted me like butter, blow my head off, put me in the grave. I wouldn't even complain. I just accepted it. Well, that didn't happen. That didn't happen at all. But on that day, January 6th, it wasn't there to represent peace. It wasn't there to represent love. It wasn't there to represent God. January 6th was there for one purpose. And what was that? Well, you might say one thing. You might always say there's still election and that was going to be the outcome. But what it was there for representing, it was there representing hate. January 6th, all those folks you saw out there, you saw that big old number of people, those are American people. They were there representing hate. They were there representing racism. They were there representing bigotry. And they were there representing white supremacy. Now, I know there are many of you who will say that there were black people there as well. There was always black people there. How do you think slavery could exist without black people approving it? How do you think white people could run over the world, or run over America, without black people sitting back approving it? Because of what? Lack of ignorance. Why are they ignorant? Because even though God prepared for all people to live as though they're in heaven, who tells the people that? When it comes down to God, over there, when this devil said, I can kill, and the people would approve and allow me to get away with it, he was talking about the church. It was over there. The right-wing church was over there. I don't know what they've been talking about all these past years, but you do. It didn't make any difference. They were over there with that liar. They were over there with that devil, and they are still over there. Now, my friends, the question becomes, now, what's going to happen? Is there anything that can be done about it? I look at that mob, and I'm saying, I'm comparing it, all that viciousness, all that violence, trying to make a statement. Compare that with the freedom movement of black people. They were receiving, they allowed violence to come on them to express something that was higher, to let the world see. You see a dog and you beating a dog. You just ask anybody, who do you approve of? The dog that's getting beaten or the one that's beating the dog? Well, it shows that the dog humbles himself. Anybody know you can take a dog and dog scare you, run away. First thing you do, hold over, humble. Say, I give up. Just don't hurt me. I give up. But black people weren't giving up. They just said, we're not going to stop. So if you want to beat, go ahead on. And what did the devil do? They reveal themselves with dogs and baseball bats and guns and hangings and you name it. What? Everybody knows that's the devil. Everybody knows that's the devil. Even the devil knows it's the devil. But the one that's ignorant are the minions. They don't know they're serving the devil. They think they're doing what's right because they were caught up in that miseducation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I talk to you a lot. The things that I've shared with you today, they are real. But I want to say this to you. I can prove to you, and I've mentioned it to you several times, especially the people of America, that this nation was not designed for you. You were just here. This nation was designed for people with money. And anybody that will support them, not everybody, but anybody that would support them enough to get by. That's what the nation was built for. Now, that being the case, you are the people. The nation didn't put you here. A power above you is responsible for your being here. Whether you even had to come from other countries to get here, running from your own devils, thinking that this has some measure of love over here, only to find out it probably won't be here much longer. But anyway, what we're trying to establish, ladies and gentlemen, is if the system is not established for you, and the pain and suffering is the evidence of it, the system is set up in such a way that it can rock and roll with the world. You see, the system is not just alone. The systems go all over the world. I don't care what name you got. Capitalism, communism, socialism, dictatorships, whatever you got. Whatever system you got, they're connected in such a way that the things that's supposed to happen in one when it comes down to making money and exchanging money and stuff like that, it all works consistently. So when you start talking about the things that I tell you about when it comes down to God, it definitely means total change. Total change. Now, I know many of you saying, well, we're connected to the world. How can we change? We'll be just like Cuba. We try to separate ourselves and think that we're better and we can do things better. And the world turned its back on us. And then what will we be still riding around in 2055 in cars that were made in 2020, 2014? That's what you worried about? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the secret of life is to be bold, audacious, and daring. The devil will walk on our heads for an eternity. In fact, that's what it's been doing, walking on our heads ever since we've been here. And a banner has been up asking for change. It hasn't come, but we're at a point now, as I indicated earlier, that if it does not come for better, it's going for worse. If it does not come for better, it's going for worse. I look at the minions that approved Donald Trump when he violated all of the Constitution to the degree that he was impeached. These little guys, can you believe the whole Senate was sitting there saying it's okay? This January 6th thing that took place, we're hearing now that you got congressmen, at least 100 congressmen sitting in there saying that they're representing the people of the United States. They're going to abide by the Constitution. They're going to do all these things they made promises to you that they would do. And now it is being exposed that you got 100 of them who decided and made the decision to become minions for the devil. So right now you got 100 senators, not senators, 100 senators and representatives on the House who are sitting up there trying to overturn this election and to make sure that you, the people, and whatever you thought rights you had are taken away from you, and you probably will never get them again. That's what they are sitting there right now, getting money from you, from your taxes being paid, their insurance being paid, their education for their children, their housing for themselves, all of it being paid by you, while they're setting up, robbing everything that you got. Now somebody say, well, Eddie, why you want to say that the world was being robbed like that? Why you want to say they were just about hating racism? Why you want to say that? Well, I want to say it because it's happening today and you can see it if somebody pointed it out to you. What do you think is happening down in these southern states when they're talking about reorganizing the way the system works to benefit them and we can do nothing about it? What do you think that's all about? That's an indication of how the systems of the world have operated ever since they've been here, to abuse people. And the abuse is all around us. And who in the world can stand up and give us a hallelujah? Those that stand up and try are murdered. Those who stand up and try are murdered. Let me tell you something. Donald Trump has nothing with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But who do they do? They 74 million folks voted for the man. Just about that same number today believe that devil won. And if he didn't win, they want him to serve, knowing he's as evil can be. I mean, so what does that say about the nation? 74 million people. One Donald Trump, with all of his lies and all of his hatred and all of his racism and all of his bigotry, want him to be president again. And you got the Democrats who want to be better than Trump, who the people have been made aware that they're no different. This whole system, ladies and gentlemen, is designed, Republican and Democrat together. Bad cop, good cop. Just to mess you up. Designed to mess the people of this country up. What's the evidence? Look around. That's the evidence. So what am I saying to you? Well, all I know is this. Each area, United States, or any other country, China, Japan, all of these nations have enough resources within their borders. You don't have to go robbing, killing like Putin is sitting over there right now trying to get into Ukraine so he can mess them up. That's another plot just to show you how it works. The demons get over there, they amass power to kill you, and now they want to control you. Give me what I want, I'm coming in and invade you. And God will let it happen because you do not know the truth, and since you don't know it, you can't walk according. Walking according to the truth is power. Now, apparently, I have been talking the truth. I haven't, I don't think in the 20 years, really been walking it. 20 years ago, I had been walking this truth ever since the 80s. The people couldn't hear me, no matter what I said, no matter how I engaged myself with the process. They couldn't hear me. And so they chose to go against anyone that was representing the people. I'm talking about all of the people. I'm not talking about a Republican. I want to speak for the people. A Democrat, I want to speak for the people. I'm not talking about those liars. I'm talking about the power of righteousness to speak for the people. The people are totally rejected. They want everything to do with it. And out of all these times since then, for these 20 years since I left, I was released from the prison at the same date 9/11 took place. I was released from prison for things, for crimes I had committed, to draw attention to you, to let you know that you are more important than me being locked up in jail. If me being locked up in jail can do something for you, it was fine. But I got locked up in jail, did it do anything for you? No. No. But you know what? 17 years later, is that right? Some years later, you got your reward. You rejected the proposal that would speak to all the people of the nation. And your reward was you get what you deserve. And what did you deserve? You deserved the devil. In 2016, you got the devil still have not turned you loose. And you still don't know what to do. Like I said, the Democrats can't really come at you because they're a part of the game. You look at the Justice Department, the Department of Justice, look like what it is waiting on. Anybody that's violating anything close like this is picked up, put in jail. No bail, put in jail. No, you just don't matter. And now these big crooks, rich crooks, in leadership positions, walk all over the nation. And what is the Justice Department doing? I don't know. I mean, why is this devil who was walking around starting this stuff? Why isn't the Justice Department trying to cut this crap out? Why? Is it a part of the game too? Look, I'm going to put it to you like this. All that goes together to make something work is a part of the game. Mueller gave a report, didn't mean a thing. Because you had William Barr there to make sure that it would be nothing. It's sad, ladies and gentlemen. It's sad. The new year, 22, is popping up around the corner. What is going to make it any different than 21 or 20 or 19, 18, or 7? What's going to make it any different? I mean, who cares about compassion for everybody in this country? About how many people care about what I've been sharing with you for all of the people in this country? Well, you would like to think that many would want that. But many could not agree to that because they don't see how it could be done. They don't see how it can be done. They don't believe that you can take money out and things will still work. And they would say, well, why would I believe that? It's never worked before. Well, it's a new day. Why do those of you say that you believe in God? Why do you say that? Is it because you don't know God? The evidence that you don't know God is all around us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. What I'm going to do is that I've been making this presentation because I've been hearing about it for the past 3 days in my head. And even as I stand here today, I'm a little shaky. But it's important that I at least say these things. So if I don't wake up tomorrow Somebody, well, one or two people who review it might get something out of it. But if I do wake up tomorrow, what I would hope is that if one of you review this post, that if you can see anything in it positive as far as you're concerned, if you would just share it with one other person. Because if I do wake up tomorrow and I'm alive, I can't deal with this cold weather here today. It's cold. Too old for that cold weather. Ain't got no money to just fit in. But when it gets warm again, I want every poor person in this country to stand up, in every city, in every state, and throughout this country, and let us, by the power of what is right, by the power of what is right. And I'm not talking, look, I know a lot of people are talking about let's do something, let's do something. Ain't nothing going anywhere. Nothing's going anywhere. Even our honest, loving representatives in the House are trying to do the best they can. But they are standing alone. They are there arguing with Democrats that are little demons for Trump. And we, the people, would benefit. It's not God, greatness, would benefit from Build Back Better. And you know what I bet these people are thinking in the House of Representatives? How in the world can they sit back in Congress and argue for child care, argue for leave, argue for all these great benefits and Build Back, and the devil and his demons, minions, are doing everything they can to prevent it from happening, and you who would benefit from it are sitting at home. This nation should know that you, the people who would benefit from that, will not settle for nothing less than that. But you're sitting up at home watching, what you watching? You're watching The Bachelor, watching The Bachelorette. Yeah, that's what you're doing. That stuff, keep you excited. What's going on in the world, you don't care. You're waiting for somebody else to fix it for you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to happen that way. There was a moment of time a few years back, they said 99% people having all kinds of rallies in the street. Me Too movements, all that stuff. Now you're talking about Build Back Better that will help your life, not just yours, but everybody, and you at home. Talking about married at first sight. Talking about wedding dresses. Anything that has no value, nothing. But that's where your attention is. You know why you do that? Because you've been brainwashed. You've been, I can't think of the word to say. It's like somebody just sliced your brain. And you up there working with that foolishness while your kids and your parents are going straight to hell. And you providing cover. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I thought about taking this message and not posting it. Just redoing it. And I might do that. But for right now, I'm going to post it for whatever worth it might have. But at the same time, I have an option to redo it. I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. It has indeed been busy here with this sickness and stuff like this. I'm telling you, man, we could have conquered sickness. I know don't make too much sense for me to be speaking. I think what I'm going to do is this. I don't